Hey guys, it's Kate with the Book of Kate, and today I am going to be doing my October wrap-up. So if you're interested to see what I read this month, just keep watching. Sorry, that was so awkward. I have not sit in front of a camera and God knows how long. So, I mean, I have more of a social life now, so maybe that's a good thing, who knows. But anyway, I am armed with my notes and I'm ready to go. So first I am going to talk about the books that were on my October TBR. And now, if you don't know, every month I do a the jar chooses my TBR video, and so that are the books that I'm going to be talking about. Okay, so really quickly, the ones that I ended up not getting to were the classics and a beautiful cover, but other than that I got to the other 4 of them, so I'm not too mad about that. So for a taboo book, I chose to read The Wild by Kay Webster. I gave this book 1 star. It was absolutely horrible. I have a whole review coming. I already filmed, I just need to edit it. It was just so horrible. So this book is an incest romance. It follows Devin and her father, and I knew it was an incest romance going in. That wasn't the issue. The issue was that there was a lot of rape and there was a lot of abuse and a lot of manipulation going on in this book. So it was a very toxic romance. If we take out the fact that Reed is Devin's father, if we remove that factor, this book would still be a 1 star because it is so toxic and gross. And then for a book I've been putting off, I have Bexley's Biker by Misty Walker. This book follows Con, who recently got arrested, and Bexley, the clubhouse's lawyer, and now Bexley is damn good at what she does and she gets Con out. But Con still has to be on house arrest. I've never read a book where the character was on house arrest, so I loved seeing it. And it was a motorcycle club romance, so you know there was found family in there. And so we just see them, the kind of taboo, like Bexley's like, no, like this is super unethical for me to be falling in love with my client. And Con's like, I don't give a fuck. I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail and get rid of you as my lawyer and get a worse lawyer than you, because we are happening. And so that was just so fun to see. And we really see what makes Bexley and how she came to be this strong, badass person. And you just see there's so much that happens to her in the book, and she just keeps picking herself up, and I loved to see it. The tropes in this book are, it's a motorcycle club, it is a lawyer criminal, touch her and die, found family, all of the good stuff. I do want to put a trigger warning for domestic abuse, not by Con, but by Bexley's ex. And then also murder. Ooh, there's also knife play. I've never read a book with knife play and like dangerous kinky sex like that. I've read lots of BDSM romances, but I've never read one with like knife play and stuff like that. But oh, I was down for it. I was down. I was here. I loved it. This book was a 4 out of 5 stars just because the lawyer criminal trope is not really for me, you know? So next I read Sunny Disposition, and this was also from my TBR for the Goodreads prompt. This is by Dina Gray, and I read it on Kindle Unlimited. I gave it 3 stars. This book was nothing special. Nothing special, nothing memorable. It does have the amnesia trope, so if you really like amnesia, you might like this one. It follows Finn and Naomi, and they do not know each other in real life. They don't know each other's real names or anything like that. They are just friends online, and they are supposed to meet up the night that Finn has this horrible accident. He has like some brain damage from this fight he got into, and he has amnesia. He cannot really remember anything about his previous life. And so Naomi just thinks, damn, this man just stood me up. And Finn's like, no. And it just is really fun to see how comfortable Finn is with Naomi, because he feels she's the only one he can really be honest with about how he's doing and his progress and how he's not really remembering everything and he's telling everybody he is. So that was I really like seeing that. It is forced proximity because they end up being roommates, but she does not know for a good portion of the book that he is who he is. And the other roommates in the book, his teammates, are so amazing, and I can't wait to get their stories. I believe one of them is already out, but I'm in no rush to read it just because, like I said, it wasn't memorable, but I did enjoy reading it. Next, I ended up reading The Right Move by Liz Tomforde, and now everyone loves this book. Ryan Shay is everyone's book boyfriend, it seems like. I mean, I gave this 4 stars, but I would much rather have the other one, the guy from the first book, as my book boyfriend. But this book was still really good. It is a sister's best friend forced proximity because they are roommates. Grumpy Sunshine book. So it follows Ryan, who is a professional basketball player, and he has gotten screwed over so much in the past. He is just closed off emotionally. And Indy, who is like this bubble of sunshine, she has a lot going on in her life, but she never lets it show. And she is determined to get him out of his shell. It is just really fun seeing them force each other and making each other uncomfortable by doing things out of their comfort zone. She is teaching Ryan how to be a good date, and chef's kiss. It was just amazing. I really, really enjoyed this book. I don't know, it was just getting 4-star vibes, so that's what I gave it. I would definitely recommend. But I do want to mention, I would not recommend the audiobook for this series because, guys, I swear, if you don't like that sound, you're going to hate it. It sounded like the whole book, it sounded like the narrators needed a sip of water. Maybe that's why the book got 4 stars, because I just couldn't do the audiobook. On Libby, I listened to Desire or Defense by Leah Berner, and this book, so I gave this book 3 stars. I had no clue this was a closed door romance going in. I saw a little thing on TikTok about it, and I was like, okay, this book sounds good. I had no clue it was closed door. I didn't know the algorithm even recommended closed door to me anymore, because I swear I never read them, and I probably wouldn't have read it if I knew it was going to be closed door. The tropes in this book are, it's like a reformed bad boy, single guardian. Andy gets guardianship of her little brother and she has no clue what she's doing. It's a sports romance, and it also has found family in it. So like I said, Andy got guardianship of her brother after their parents died, and Andy has no clue what she's doing, and she's just trying her best. So when she sees this coach yelling at her brother on the ice, she absolutely loses it and stomps onto the ice and is like, no fucking way are you yelling at my brother. And he's like, who the fuck do you think you are? And that guy is Mitch, and he is this super bad boy of the NHL, and he is known for spending his time in the sin bin, okay? So he was what you'd probably like call an enforcer. He's got a short fuse, and he gets a 40-game suspension or something like that. Oh my god, side note, did you guys hear about the hockey player who got a 41-game suspension for gambling? Then he was like, it's crazy, I can't gamble, but I'm forced to wear like a DraftKings thing on my helmet promoting gambling. But yeah, that was crazy. Anyway, so he gets a 1-month 40-game suspension, and his image is in the gutter, and all his sponsors dropped him. So he is forced by his manager to, 1, see a therapist. I loved seeing that therapist in the book, and I felt like it gave a really true representation of therapy. And 2, also coach this youth hockey team. And so that's where he meets Andy, and he honestly falls in love with Andy's brother and sees the potential there. And so he kind of takes and Dee's brother under his wing, and that's how they meet in the first place. So his teammates are honestly the best. I loved seeing them. They all rallied around him, and even though he's like, no, they're like, yeah. And I just loved seeing it. So maybe thinking back on it, it may be more of a 3.5 stars, but I got to the end credits and I was like, where was the sex? So the second to last book that I'm going to talk about is Heart Trick by Kristen Gunta, something like that. I can't pronounce it, sorry. I found her on TikTok, and so when I saw her book on KU, I was like, okay, I'll pick it up. This is a sports romance with forced proximity, and she is also a romance writer, fake dating. It's got all the tropes. I gave this a 3.5 stars. This is a really short book, less than 200 pages. So I just got through it probably in a few hours. I don't know. I couldn't get down with Cassidy, honestly. So this book follows Cassidy, whose fiance cheats on her, and she can no longer really write spicy scenes in her books because as soon as she starts, all she pictures is her ex-fiance. So she's in this really big slump. And Trent just got traded to this team, and he was also cheated on by his fiance. So he really doesn't want to be in this new city because it wasn't his choice to be traded. He honestly just wants to play the game he loves and keep his head down. Yeah, well, that doesn't happen, and Cassidy and Trent kind of get into this little neighbors feud, and then Cassidy posts a TikTok video. I also hated how much TikTok played a role in this book. I just think it's cringe when authors include social media in their books. That's why I don't really like influencer videos, or not videos, influencer stories, because I'm just like, ew, TikTok cringe. It's like I have the same reaction as if I was reading a book that said like, oh, I was MySpace famous. Okay, you know? But she ends up making this TikTok series. Oh, sorry. She ends up making this TikTok series and it goes viral and people are like, we want more. And Trent's publicist hops on and she's like, you guys, please, please, please date. And they end up dating, and you see Trent really wooing Cassidy, which I loved. And y'all, this book was surprisingly sexy. Like, I was shocked. I was pleasantly surprised. Cassidy is literally like, hey, Trent, can I send you these porn videos and see if you're willing to reenact them so I could see if they make sense in my book? And we got details. It was absolutely perfect. I love that. But a few more gripes about this book. The second book in the series, we got told who the couple is. We didn't ask for that couple. Literally, why are you pushing this one couple down our throats to not even give them the story, the next story in the book? Like, it was like what was her name? Lucy Score did with the Knock 'Em Out series. Literally, nobody asked for Lana and Nate. Everyone wanted Salome and Lucien. It was like this. I was like, fuck this. Like, yo. And then also, this was like just me nitpicking. It really annoyed me that the title was Heart Trick because it was a play on words for hat trick, and a hat trick. Okay, you guys don't care what a hat trick is. But anyway, Trent is a goalie. So Trent can't get a hat trick. Like, that just annoyed me. The last book I'm going to be talking about is Defensive Stance by Kasha Thompson. And now, I read this on KU and I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. The tropes are single mom, black love, dysfunctional family, and then also a reformed bad boy. And now, this is the only one I didn't write the names on of the people, which I'm sorry. So it follows this basketball player with a very short temper and a single mom who also has a very short temper, and they meet in anger management, and it's just their relationship developing from there. It was great to see. I absolutely loved it. It was perfection. We'll be reading the next book in this series. But anyway, yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I have for this video. If you guys read any of these books, let me know down below, and also let me know what your favorite book of the month was.